What's up, guys? This is Chandler Coe here with episode 4 of the 395 podcast. And last episode, I had Iron Cross on here, and today I decided to get one of his students. So, what's up, Josh?
Doing good. How about yourself, Chandler?
Doing real good. So, we have Josh in here today. He's actually a local wrestler, and So, do you still train there? Are you still at Samson's gym?
I still go there when I can. Only thing is, I'm living in Johnson City. So, when I get the chance to, when I'm in town, I'll just be like, hey, who's available? Who wants to come by?
Now, do you train anywhere over in the Tri-Cities at all?
Not really. I've always been loyal to the Samson's gym. I've always been loyal to Cross. So
I feel you. That's important too. Loyalty will take you a long way. So, for you guys that don't know, this is Josh Strong. Now, you actually just changed your ring name to Josh Strong, didn't you?
Yep.
But you have the perfect ring name.
Yeah.
What was you going by? Jeff X?
Jeff X, yeah.
So, what was the story behind that?
Well, the whole ordeal, Cross and I, we were all training, and that's when we all decided to come up with names. And the Jeff X name was actually a character that was created we go way back when I was a kid. My uncle had made a character called Jeff X. He was just this stylish, long-haired, built up, tough guy, etc., high flyer. So I decided, hey, why not? Let's do that. So we ran with that for a while. And once I got in there, probably from mid-2017 till now, people were just like, why didn't you just use your real name?
I mean, you have the name. You definitely have the wrestling name. Josh Strong is, it's kind of like John Cena. Whose last name is Cena?
Right.
Right. So, I think it rolls off the tongue. It's smooth. And let's go way back.
Oh boy.
To so Josh is, where are you originally from?
Coburn, Virginia, right here. Born
and raised, Coburn, Virginia. He was actually a freshman when I was a senior, and I'll never forget, after I graduated high school, I'd walk down the road. He actually lived down the street from me. Mm-hmm. And Josh actually stopped me one time and said, hey man, would you like to be a part of our wrestling? And I was like, I'll think about it, man. And he said, okay, well, just let me know, because we'd love to have you. And I remember I stopped by, and y'all told me the gimmick y'all had and wanted me to do. You wanted me to be like Brock Lesnar because I was big. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you, for trampoline, the ground, and garden tools, he let me do whatever I wanted. And he would take some ridiculous bumps. And, and I'm sure that even back then, y'all caught a lot of heat, kids at school and stuff.
Oh yeah, we got laughed at, we got made fun of, we got people liked. There were some people that's key word, some. When I say some, I mean that with very little. But then there was just some liked it, some didn't. But it was what it was. We just wanted to
have fun.
Yeah, that's all we were doing. We were just kids having fun.
I remember, and that's what I think I told you that from the get-go. Mm-hmm. I was like, I respect Josh more than I respect most people, because even though, when it was trampoline wrestling and, people were giving him a hard time in high school and people were joking and cracking jokes on him and stuff, mm-hmm. He didn't care. He went at the beat of his own drum, and now he's on the indie scene, and I've watched his progression, not only in the gym, but in the, the ring, and I watch his videos and stuff, and he's a very talented wrestler, and I think it's because of that passion. Even back in the day, trampolines, y'all were doing some crazy stuff. Yeah. Y'all were unreal stuff.
Still do, not as bad.
Now, who's, God, he's going to be mad at me. I forgot his name.
Oh, no.
Who's the guy that wrestles with you? Josh Rollins.
Yeah, Josh Rollins.
Okay, yep. Josh Rollins. Now, are y'all a tag team, or?
We are right now, actually. We wrestle. There's a promotion we work for, Rated R Wrestling, which is mainly in the Lebanon, Virginia area. Me and him we're the tag team champions right now over at that show. Okay. And our team name is, Team Luxury.
Team Luxury.
So it's
how many how many different characters do you play?
Just right now it's just, oh gosh, there There's one alter ego that Cross has been wanting me to do for a long, long time. It's his name. It's a character that was also in my family thing, the Black Goblin. And the Black Goblin is a little. It's a dark, psychopathic, crazy alter ego, basically insane, wanting to basically come after Cross. So
come after Cross.
Yeah, pretty much. He wants to own Cross's gym. He wants to own Cross's promotion. After Cross's title. So it's that's something.
Yeah, he's retired, isn't he?
Yeah, he did.
He's retired. We talked about that, and he said that no one even knew it was going to happen, but he said it was during the Christmas parade.
Yeah.
And he said everything went smooth, and then afterwards he decided to hang it up.
Yeah,
which had to be hard, man. You know, after you do that for so long, it's like you don't want to just hang it up, you know. So, and I feel like that's the thing with a lot of people, you know. Ric Flair went out, you know, and I watch that video all the time. And I'm like, it's probably the saddest moment in wrestling. It's like, I'm sorry, I love you, know, with Shawn Michaels. I mean, that's crazy. So, I mean, some people, you know, they don't, the perfect time usually never comes, and then they just wear out, you know, like Roddy Piper, you know, he wrestled all the way up until, you know, really until he was doing skits and stuff and promos until he died. I mean, really, so I feel like if a wrestler gets to have that special moment, it's very special because a lot of wrestlers don't get to have that. But so what are some wrestlers that like impacted you, that made you love the art? This
is what made me pretty much turn into a wrestling fan. It was I want to say it was in January of 2008. SmackDown was on. I just turned to SmackDown. I said, this is cool. They were on a commercial, and then it come on. You remember, this is back in 08. Like on SmackDown when they would show the Raw recaps, the famous Raw recaps, what happened on Raw this past Monday night.
It would be like sponsored by like Stackers or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I said, I don't know this. I just turned my TV on. I seen this. It just caught my eye, and I just said, well, I'm just going to watch this, see what goes on. This was when Randy Orton was the WWE champion at the time. And he was progressing into the Viper. So he was stepping out of that Legend Killer zone. Anyway, it was him versus Jeff Hardy. He was the Intercontinental Champion at the time. Bell rings. Here we go. Orton low blows Hardy, throws him out, and Orton starts beating him on the stage. So here they go. Next thing you know, here goes Orton going for that punt kick. Hardy backdrops Orton off the stage. And then that's when Hardy goes up, climbs the top of the structure of Raw, and does that 30, 35, 40-foot swanton bomb. And I'm new to this. And I'm just watching. I'm just not taking my eyes off the screen. I'm just like, I want to do this.
Right.
This is my match. I want to do this now.
See, mine goes back. The first thing I ever remember, like I had watched bits and pieces, like I'd seen it on TV. Mm-hmm. But the one thing I can remember more than anything is before WrestleMania 18, The Rock and Hogan.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that was such a big deal. And I remember the NWO beat The Rock up, and then he was in the ambulance, and then Hulk Hogan hit him with the semi truck, and I thought he was dead.
Yeah.
So like for me, like WrestleMania 18, and then I started watching, and then I realized, you know. So I go back and watch it, and I think that's the same one where the Undertaker came out with Limp Bizkit, you know, singing his song and stuff.
Yeah.
So it goes that far back, and then like the next year, you know, I watch, and then I over the next year I see like the progression of like Brock Lesnar, and like dude, like he's not as good now, and I hate that. You know, and he was a big asset to like the UFC and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I wish he would have stayed in wrestling because he really was special.
He was, absolutely.
He was a freak athlete. He's not that athlete anymore. You know, people are real big on him, but he is not the same athlete. And what he did when he was younger.
Yes.
Oh my God, the Speedo. I mean, now he wears the fight shorts and trunks, and he's kind of older, but when he was wearing like the Speedos and the knee pads and the boots,
he was a monster.
He was jacked out of his loin. I mean, it was unreal. And when he done the super or the
shooting star
to
Kurt Angle.
Oh my gosh! Like I was watching that and I thought he died.
300 pounds coming crashing on your neck. That's scary.
When you go back and listen to the story, you know they say that like any normal human would have died.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he has so much muscle
to
support it. Like he just had like he didn't break his neck. He was like what, strained?
I think it was strained. I think that was it. That was it.
And a concussion.
Yeah, that was it. Anybody else, they would have been out of the business for a year and a half. You know what I mean?
Unreal. So what did you think about Lesnar ending Undertaker streak?
Gosh, that's a lot of. I didn't get to watch Mania. I didn't get to watch it that year. I heard about it, I think, later that night or the next day. At the time, and I'm still this way. It's kind of like ifs and like little mixed emotions about it. I'm just like, in a way, to me, my opinion about it, it's just like WrestleMania now. It's just like, well, now the streak's over. Now it's just like kind of like, yeah, you know what I mean. It's just, I hate it had to come to it at that point, but it's just kind of like that was part of the excitement to WrestleMania was what coming to say, oh my gosh, who's it going to be this year? Who's it going to be this year? You know what I'm saying?
I think Vince McMahon struck out doing that. Yeah. I think he's a genius,
right?
I think,
yeah.
And he will do anything to be successful. But I think in that instance, I think he messed up.
Yeah,
I think he messed up. I don't think anyone should have, especially the lead up. The lead up, man, like Undertaker just got back. He was like, the whole contract signing stuff, and he made Brock look like a punk, and then it's like he beats Undertaker off that sorry F5. Like Undertaker was beating him up F5, and then pins him. And I just believe like if you let Undertaker retire undefeated at WrestleMania, that's more special than him losing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because now he's lost twice.
Right.
And now they try to still hype it up, and they're like, the legendary career of The Undertaker. It's like, dude, what made him legendary got ruined. So,
yeah, it's just, yeah.
I do not understand why they did that to him. But, so how many, like, okay, so you're on the indie scene and stuff, so how many wrestlers have you had the chance to meet? Like, the big wrestlers?
Gosh, mighty. So far, I can list them off the top of my head. I've met both the Hardys, Matt and Jeff.
Were they real cool when you met them?
Jeff he was the type of person. Jeff was the type of person. Once he started talking, he wouldn't shut up. So that was awesome for me. Because he's my main favorite anyway. He was awesome to meet. Matt didn't really say a word to me. He didn't welcome me to the show or nothing. So it was kind of a thumbs down for there.
Oh, so I wonder if he was just having a bad day.
Possibly.
But he does look like more like the serious type, When they came back to WrestleMania, that was unreal.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
That was probably the biggest reaction that since I've been watching.
Yeah.
And I think the coolest comebacks ever is the Hardys at WrestleMania. Was it 33?
Yes, 33.
And Undertaker at WrestleMania 20.
Yes.
When he got buried alive by Kane and he came back as a dead man. Those were both pretty cool. So what other ones have you got to meet?
I've met Sting. Sting was also another disappointment, but it wasn't Sting's fault. There was Sting was having a bad day that day. It was for Big Time Wrestling. They were, I think it was about, I want to say 20-30 minutes before their show started. I want to say maybe less than that. Sting's Sharpie highlighter was running out of ink. So, and he told the guys at his table, go get me another highlighter. Go get me another marker. I need one. This one's running out of ink. They would not do it. They were just rushing fans. Come on, get in. Let's go. So I was only able to say hi to Sting, get my picture, and get my stuff signed, and then that was it. So that was another. It was cool to see Sting, but at the same time, I didn't get the experience I was wanting to with Sting.
No, I feel you. And he's another legend, and I hate that he waited so long to come to WWE. I hate that all these wrestlers spend their career trying to be competition instead of coming to the A show.
Right.
Like Kenny Omega.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's one of the greatest wrestlers in the world right now. I'm not going to say he is the greatest. I know he's fantastic. I know he's amazing.
Yeah.
But I would like to see him work with some of the guys. Could you imagine Kenny Omega versus Randy Orton?
Or Kenny Omega versus Seth Rollins?
Right?
Dude.
Those matches would be amazing. And, we won't get to see them because he's so stubborn. And it's I don't know what it is. It's he's no, they've always been competition. They're still competition. I'm not going to go. And it's he's going to do the same thing that every other wrestler does.
Mm-hmm.
AJ Styles did it. Sting did it.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna come.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna come. And it's so crazy because he is that good. But
even if you're not a Kenny Omega fan, he is so entertaining to watch. Honestly, he puts on great matches.
Oh,
honestly.
phenomenal matches. Another one that puts on phenomenal matches?
Who's that?
Finn Balor.
Oh gosh.
I watched him. I went to
Yes.
Pikeville this Friday.
Yeah, I seen it where
And
you
I
were
was
there.
sitting ringside, and it was amazing, dude. But I was disappointed though because I'm thinking some of these guys are going to be unreal godly big. They're really not. They're really not as big as I thought they were.
Really?
Like some of them are like Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, Bobby Lashley. Yes.
He's huge.
I've watched Lashley wrestle.
He is huge.
He's a monster.
Oh yeah, he's huge. He's just so stiff. But I think he has such a great amateur wrestling background, and he looks like a Greek god. That's his persona.
Right.
And he's so powerful. I follow him on Instagram, and I see the stuff that he does, his workouts and stuff.
It's crazy.
He's a freak. And Finn Balor's small, super small.
Yeah.
And then the only ones that I looked at, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins are small too. They're not really that big.
Dang.
I mean, I guess to me, I'm 290, so of course, to me, they're not that big. I guess to you, how about you?
155.
155.
155.
So I tell you who is big though, Drew McIntyre.
Oh yeah. Okay.
He's a giant.
True.
And I tell you someone who is bigger and moves extremely well, and that is Baron Corbin. He moves exceptionally well. He done that thing where he slides up under the ring, and he runs around the ring post and comes straight back in, and it was so fast that it was unreal. It was unreal.
Wow.
I feel like but I was watching, and the whole time I was telling my cousin, I was like, Josh could wrestle with them.
Oh.
I think Josh could wrestle them. I think the only thing that you would need work on, dude, I'm the type of guy too, where people would give me advice, and I'm like,
Right.
you don't even do it. Like, how are you supposed to give me advice? So I may be wrong in this, but I would love to see you wrestle for a promotion where they record and see you cut promos. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, yeah.
Get you on TV. Like, I would love to see that because it's like Triple H said, Finn Balor, when he first got on TV, he's like, he kind of freaked out after being in NXT. Like, he got to NXT and was like, because they say that, which I don't keep up with it much, but do they do a lot of promos in New Japan?
New Japan, I think very rarely. Very rarely.
It's
I think
all about
mainly Bullet Club. I think does guys at Bullet Club. I think mainly does them. I think.
which
I may be
in
wrong.
Japan, it's not as like it is over here.
Right.
I mean, it's a show over
Right.
here. It's a storyline and everything. Over there, it's more about wrestling. Like, you got your
Right.
feuds and stuff, but it's about wrestling.
Right.
They do some crazy stuff. over there.
Exactly. Yes.
It's like Shelton Benjamin. He was supposed to make his return to WWE 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and he done something,
And
and
Japan got
Japan
hurt.
broke his shoulder or something. Had to have
Yeah.
surgery, and they prolonged it. But he's another freak.
Oh yes.
What's your thoughts on Kofi Kingston?
It's about time.
It really is, dude. I seen him this weekend, and it.
Oh, he was there? Oh.
he was there. He's in the main event.
Oh, wow.
He wrestled Elias. That's another great one. There's a lot of great talent right now. That's what's so bad is even your mid carders are great.
Wow.
Like Finn Balor is a main event star wrestling on the mid card.
Yeah. Yeah.
Elias is a great superstar. And then the women's division. This is the most athletic and group we've ever had. I mean, this is the best group of women we've ever had.
Yes.
I think Charlotte Flair though, she is in a league of her own. Even better than Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey can really fight, but as far as athleticism, selling the show, promos, and everything, dude, Charlotte's in a league of her own. I seen that this weekend.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So athletic.
Absolutely.
So athletic. So, gosh, I'm almost at loss too. So you haven't met any more wrestlers other than?
I've met. Let me see. I've met Robbie E from Impact Wrestling.
Okay.
I've met Gunner.
I met Gunner.
Yeah, Gunner.
I got a picture of Gunner. He was at one of my fights.
Yeah, I remember you told me that.
Sitting ringside, and I told him, I said, dude, I'd love to wrestle. I was like, but I took up MMA, and I don't think I'm big enough. And he looked at me, and he's like, dude, you can do anything you want.
Exactly, you just got to put it in your mindset.
He's like, I just watched you beat up another human being, and it looked crazy.
Right.
He's like, you can do anything you want.
Yeah.
I was like, good deal. Okay, I like that.
I've also, here's another one. This was back in October. I met and got to share the ring with Impact Wrestling star, the Cowboy James Storm. I got to work James Storm in a 8-man, no disqualification tag team match. That
I don't know why
was
he never came to the WWE.
he came to NXT in 2014 or 2015. I can't remember which one it was, but Impact at the time offered him more money than NXT did. So that's when he
But
decided
man,
to
if
come back.
if you make it to that main card,
Oh,
you're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars.
if not more.
Well, I've seen the salaries of all of them, and it was like your main eventers, like your top guys, are making $1 million, but a lot of them are right there at that 500,000,
500,000, 750,000.
But God, that's a lot of money.
It is.
Like, what do you do with that?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Like, I was talking to my cousin the other day, and we were talking about money, and we said, you know, when you got that much money, what do you do with it? He said, I think I'd buy a house and a car. I said, well, you'd probably have houses and cars. Houses and cars. Because we're talking about rappers, man, and you know Jay-Z right now has $980 million. Like, what do you do with that?
That's the truth. That's the
You
truth.
put every kid in America in college. For real. I mean, that's a lot of money.
Gosh.
That is a lot of money.
Yeah.
That blows my mind. But, you know, Brock Lesnar's making bank right now, and he don't do nothing.
Yeah, he don't.
He
I
don't
think.
show up.
I think at the time. I know it was at the time. Him and Cena were the ones who made the most. I don't know if that's still true now or not.
Man, I wish Cena would come back and turn heel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know he don't want to because of the whole Make-A-Wish thing, but I feel like he can still make wishes.
That would be a very interesting, turn of events for Cena.
At least, like, for a segment. Like,
right.
Like, even come back, turn heel, like, kind of how, like, Dean Ambrose did. You know how they had him heel for a couple weeks and now he's back on S.H.I.E.L.D.? Like, do that. Like, let him come turn heel for a segment. Like, let him turn heel against, like, Roman Reigns.
Yeah. Oh.
Instead of both of them being, like, the good guys.
Right.
Let him turn heel. Let him, like, attack. Because Roman Reigns is forever babyface.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, without a doubt.
After
without a
the
doubt.
slow leukemia thing came out, he's a forever babyface.
Yes.
No one will ever not like him. Other people, the only person that doesn't like him is people in the locker room.
Yeah.
Because Drew McIntyre just came out with a statement and said that what's wrong with the Raw locker room is Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
He came out and said that like in a personal interview.
Wow.
He said that he's so used. Everybody in the locker room is like so used to watching Roman Reigns, complain and whine and cry, and they've seen that, and that they think that it's okay for them to do that.
Oh, wow, I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, and he went on a big tirade about it. He was like,
that.
it is his fault that the locker room is destroyed beyond repair.
Wow.
Exact words.
Wow.
It's a little harsh.
I did not hear about that.
Yeah, it's a little harsh. It is crazy. What do you think about the women's division right now?
They're on fire. I mean, for example, Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda are the main event of WrestleMania.
What do you think about that?
That, honestly, I think this is going to be a big... They're obviously got a lot of pressure on because this is the first ever women's WrestleMania main event. This is...
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No, man. Like, even though I get it. Like, they're making a big push. Make them the co-main.
Right.
But dude, the main event is supposed to be something like... If Seth Rollins if Kofi Kingston wins the title... That needs to be the main event.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that being the very last thing that happens in the night?
Right.
But, like, instead, they're pushing this whole 4 horsewoman thing.
Yeah.
Like, Bayley and Sasha winning, and then Charlotte having the woman, or the SmackDown, and Becky having the Raw, and it's just like, wow.
It's kind of like, yeah. I mean, it's just like I said. I mean, there have been times I've watched Raw and SmackDown. Sometimes, like, for example, 2 women I love watching work together are Sasha and Charlotte. My opinion, when they work each other, they
done that false count anywhere.
Yes,
she tapped out because she had her like in the bank statement.
Yep.
And dude, that was awesome.
Yeah.
But I just don't, man. It's for example, and I'm not sexist by no means or a feminist, but men's matches are just more time. They just are. They do more. They have to do more.
Mm-hmm.
They physically can do more.
Right.
And I just think that should be a main event. Don't give us Brock Lesnar again, please, for the love of God.
Yeah.
I think I actually said Seth Rollins needs a main event, but I'll take that back. Like, no, if anyone loves us, they will not do that to us again.
Oh, yeah.
They will never do that to us again. And that's what I hate, though, is like Roman Reigns is another one that's actually super talented, but there for a minute, no one liked him, and they had him working with Brock, who isn't that good of a worker, and so he got booed out of WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, even Kurt Angle said about Brock, you know, he was an amazing athlete, but he was never a great wrestler. I mean,
Yeah, well, the things he done back in the day were unreal.
Yeah.
But I think he knows that he's such a big name now, he just has to show up.
Yeah, I mean, that's the truth. I mean, you know.
I hate that.
So, man.
I hate that, because I got the WWE Network, and I'll be watching. I'll watch his matches, and I'm like, man, the OG was an OG.
Exactly.
The OG was phenomenal.
Exactly.
Like, that's another one. AJ Styles is good.
Yeah, AJ.
He's amazing. But I think he got hurt in Pikeville. He legitimately got hurt.
Really?
He botched. I was gonna post it, but I didn't.
Oh.
I did post it, but I didn't point it out. He at the end of the match, something happened, and he got thrown over the top rope, and he went to catch himself. And when he went to catch himself to hit the phenomenal forearm, he fell and hit the side of the ring.
Oh.
So he jumps back up and he gets hit or something, and he like puts his head he slams. Who's he wrestling?
Was it
Samoa
Joe?
Joe's,
Joe, yeah.
So he puts Samoa Joe's head into the ropes, and he goes to lean back and catch himself with his feet for the crowd, and his foot's hanging on. And then he falls and hits the thing. So he gets back up. He does a phenomenal forearm. And after the match, he gets out of the cage or gets out of the ring. And at live events, they're always they're active with their fans. They are every match. It's like because it's a little different, Well, he got out of the ring and he told the ref, he's like, something's wrong. Something's really wrong.
Oh man.
And they walked him all the way to the back, and he didn't say anything to a fan or nothing.
Oh wow.
And so I'm worried to see. I'm curious to see if that wasn't real. He played it off smooth.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
I think he's really hurt. That's like when Big Cass got hurt on Raw. It's like everybody thought he was faking it, and it's like no, that dude really tore his ACL in the match.
Yeah.
That was the end of his career.
Yeah.
And then with Enzo, that was ridiculous that they got rid of him. He was funny.
Yeah, that was really the only thing, really, in my opinion, good about him is he was just entertaining. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he couldn't really wrestle.
No, he couldn't.
He cuts promos like The Rock.
Yeah,
he's good.
Yes,
and that's pretty impressive. So what's next for you, man? What's Josh Strong's? What does he got next on his agenda?
Well, as of right now, gosh. So far, like I said, I didn't have a match this weekend, so it's kind of in a way a relief, but at the same time, it's very boring.
Now, do you try to wrestle every weekend?
I try to. Yeah, I just try to get on with anybody I can. I actually got a show this coming Saturday night for WrestleMania weekend. I got
awesome.
Saturday, April the 6th. In Morristown, Tennessee, at the National Guard Armory. Bell time will be 6 p.m. If anybody who's listening wants to come out. I'll be taking on it'll be for Intense Championship Wrestling Asylum. I'll be in the main event taking on the ICWA World Champion Damon Biggs that night.
Okay, are you the main event?
Main event.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That is awesome. That's good, though. That means that people around here, because you've been in a lot of main events.
Yeah.
You've been in a lot of main events, so that means a lot of people are watching you.
Yeah.
So I bet you stay busy with people messaging you and
pretty much
getting booked. Now, have you ever turned down a wrestling gig?
I will tell you a story. I didn't turn down one, but this is one regret I have in wrestling so far. This was when the Hardys had just gotten back, were going back to WWE. So this was they had announced this was their last indie shows in Bristol.
Mm-hmm, I remember.
Yep. The thing is, Brett, the guy who tried to get me on the show, he said, I'm going to try to get you on that show, where it was the Hardys' last one. I was like, okay, cool, just keep me updated. Days, weeks, a month went by. I didn't hear nothing back. I just said, I ain't got a chance, so oh well. So he went on to the show, and I think either the next day or next few days, whatever, he got in contact when we started talking. He said, first thing he said, dude, you messed up. I said, what do you mean I messed up? He said, I got to that show and I was talking to them about you, and you know what they said? I said, what? They said, all you had to do was show up. And they had to put you in the Battle Royal. I think they had a Battle Royal that night. They said, all you had to do was show up with your bags, be in the battle royal, and there you go. You would have been able to share the locker room with both Matt and Jeff Hardy. So that's one regret. One regret I do have so far.
Ain't that crazy about promoters though? It's like, they should have told you to come. Like, he contacted you and they didn't tell you to come.
Yeah.
I heard promoters are snakes.
Yes.
I heard some of them are snakes. They say, I was talking to Cross last week and he said that a lot of them will, they'll tell you like, hey, we'll pay you this, and then you get there and they'll pay you and they'll be like, oh, we'll give you another one the next time you wrestle or something like that.
I went up to, this was 2 years ago, I went up to Madison, Indiana to wrestle. I wrestled, and this was the opponent I had. He was lazy, didn't want to do anything. So we got done wrestling, and they only paid me $5. And I drove from Coburn all the way up there, and that was a 5-hour road trip. 5 hours there, 5 hours back home for $5. Some promoters, you got to be careful with that. Some promoters
did they give you a price that they were going to pay beforehand?
No, they. I was traveling with a buddy that he got booked up on there, and they had just an opening for somebody who didn't have an opponent, so he just dragged me with him. So it was just like I said, it was just kind of one of those deals. It was just like, really? You know what I mean? I mean, it happens. I mean, it's just like Cross said on his podcast.
You think if you had a better opponent, you'd got paid more?
Maybe. It's just like Cross said on the podcast. Wrestling business. Sometimes it's a letdown. Sometimes it's a surprise. You know what I mean?
It'd have been awesome though if you'd have got on there and like you had an opponent that you could work with. Because a lot of times opponents will make you look worse than what you are.
Yeah.
And then you get some opponents that'll make you look amazing. They call John Cena the 5 moves of doom or something.
5 moves of doom.
5 moves of doom.
Yep.
But AJ Styles and him had phenomenal matches.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because AJ Styles can make a rock look good.
Yeah.
He'll make a sitting still rock and will wrestle the crap out of it.
Yeah.
And I think your opponent makes you look as good as you can be.
Yeah, I mean, y'all just got to basically work for the match and work with,
that chemistry.
Especially another one, too, who helps make the match is the referee. A lot of people don't give the referee credit for the match, too, but the referee is a part of the story, too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just his reactions and watching his, facial features and all this other stuff, he's a part of the story, too. It's also what, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
So, how many do you have on record how many matches you've had before?
Not so far. No, I don't really. I can't count how many matches I've had thus far. To be honest, I mean, every one of my matches that I've had are pretty much on my YouTube channel. So I mean, you just
gotta go back and watch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. I'm sure you've. How long have you been wrestling now? Since you graduated, ain't it?
Yeah, like I started training when I was still a senior in high school. Let's see. I want to say I started training in. It was it was in May. It was in May of 2016, and I had my first match in August of 2016.
I had the privilege of going over to Ricky Morton's school, and I've met him before. Met him in Appalachia, and we just kicked it off real cool. He's a real cool dude, and now every time he sees me, he's like, "What's up, MMA fighter?" So he's a Hall of Famer. So it was phenomenal to get to meet him. But one thing that I noticed when I was over there is I noticed these kids over there.
Yeah.
I was watching them and I was like, there's no way they're 18. And I asked them, and there was a 12-year-old in there, like, working.
Wow.
Like, just learning stuff. He wasn't working with any of the adults. Like, he wasn't.
Okay.
He wasn't getting slammed or nothing.
Okay.
He was just practicing, like, from rope to rope. And, like,
Okay.
Stuff, like, different things to do. Like, when you run to the ropes and, like, you do, like, that kick up and they run by. Like, he was practicing stuff like that. I think his name's, like, Jungle Boy.
Jungle Boy, okay.
And, I mean, he's awesome.
I'll tell you this. I got two funny stories, actually. One's about Ricky Morton. Another one is about me, basically, what we done. Both of these two stories happened in one night. So, it was in the summer of 2017? Summer of 2017. It was in late July. This was the first weekend I had where I had wrestled Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I wrestled Friday night in Dublin, Virginia. Saturday and Sunday was Duke Fest, Cooter's A Final Stand in Luray, Virginia. So they had, on the Saturday and Sunday shows, they had a show at 11 in the morning, another one at 1 o'clock, and then the final one at 3 o'clock on both Saturday and Sunday. And there were some guys where they, so-and-so is going to wrestle at 11 and 1. So-and-so is going to wrestle just at 1 o'clock. So-and-so is going to wrestle this. I guess this goes to show how much energy I've got. I was the only one that wrestled all 3 shows on both Saturday and Sunday for Duke Fest.
That's awesome.
So, anyway, we got there and we done our thing. We were there Saturday. We had just, we got finished up. We got done. We got left and went to our motels at about probably 6 o'clock in the evening. So let me tell you all who was there. Let's put it this way. I'm the youngest on the show. And the oldest one would have to be between Ricky and Robert and handsome Jimmy Valent. They're the oldest ones, and I'm the youngest one. Soon as we get there, as soon as we get to our hotel rooms, I go to my hotel room and I sleep. I go back home and sleep, and the guys will go to my room. They're like, "Are you serious?" They're like, "Ricky and Robert are out partying right now, and they're the oldest ones here." They just gave me so much. So, anyway, we got done. I woke up. It was about probably 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. Some of the wrestlers were actually prank calling Ricky's motel room, saying, you need to quit making noise. And at first, Ricky was like, okay, where nobody's making noise. Y'all got the wrong room. And then all of a sudden, it kept on and kept on and kept on. And then in the final call, Ricky said, "If you call this number one more time, I'm gonna..." Well, you can pretty much picture what he said next. So
yeah, he did go crazy. Ricky's real intense. Like
yes.
he sets himself at a real high pace.
Yep.
Because like when he was talking at that practice I went to, because he let me come and watch a practice, and I'm talking, he was like off the wall, off the wall. Now there's some more local wrestlers that I would like to see work. You probably have worked with them. I would like to see you work with Roy Thacker.
Yep, RT3. Yes.
RT3. He's awesome.
Yeah, I've watched him.
And I would like to see you work with Chad Bartlett. The loaded.
Yeah, okay. I remember Chad.
Yes,
I remember
dude.
Chad.
Yes, we talk all the time. That's my buddy.
Okay.
That's my buddy.
I ain't seen him in a long time, man.
Yes, that's my buddy, the loaded gun. He is not someone you want to get in a promo fight with.
No.
He's with the best of them. He don't care what he says. He's so witty about things.
Yeah.
You know, and I've only met a few people who's like that, but he is one of them. He's real witty, and he don't care what he says, and he'll make you look dumb.
Oh yeah.
When I first met Chad, funny story, we was in college, and I come in, this guy. He wasn't bigger than me, but I was trying to hop him up, you know? So I was like, bro, no. He's like, I want to lift with you. And I was like, no, you don't need to lift with me. Look how big you are, man. Like I need to lift with you. So I was hopping him up, and I was like, no, you're bigger than me, man. He's like, no, you're bigger than me. And Chad walks in, and he hears us talking.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I wonder whose ego is bigger.
Oh,
and
wow.
I was like, huh? And he was like, yeah, I wonder whose ego is bigger between y'all two, because y'all over there, you know, talking all that smack and stuff. And I was just like, dude, you don't even know me. Like, why are you talking to me? So I walk out, and then I see him again, and I walk to, so then I go to Huddle House one night, and he's there, and I see him, and I just smile at him. He smiles back at me. Because, you know me, I'm not a real aggressive person, so I'm just like, this is funny to me. So then we have a common friend named Amos, who's hilarious. You need to meet Amos. He's funny.
Okay.
And he's talking to us, and he's like, you need to meet my friend. You need to meet my friend Chad. He's a real good person. Like, you need to talk to him. So I'm like, okay, cool. So he's like, come to the Element. He has a gig. Okay. I go to the Element, and it's him. And when I get there, I start laughing, and Chad just looks at me. And I was like, bro, I know who this is. And Chad's like, yeah, I know who he is too. And I was like, what's up? We just start talking. And it's like, we kicked it off, dude. And it's like, we've been friends ever since. Dang. He's such a good guy. The thing is, he don't care. He don't care what he says.
Oh, no.
And like, the worst thing you do is beat him up. And he knows that's the worst you can do, and he don't care. Yep. So it's like, he'll talk the talk, and he'll walk the walk. He don't care. And he's a funny dude. But I tell you, you know what I think would be a cool tag team match?
What's that?
RT3 and Chad Bartlett versus Josh Strong and Chandler Cole.
Let's do it. Promotions. Are you hearing this?
That's the Riverview.
Gosh.
Oh God, the Riverview Rats.
I'll tell y'all this. I'll tell you this is another story. This is about us. I think we were in the backyard talking one night. It was me, you, couple friends. Mom was all out there. We were all just talking. This was we were talking about Chandler's first impression of me because let me give y'all a quick little thing. Like back in middle school, I was a troublemaker. I was in fights all the time. I was mad at the world constantly. And like, I remember I asked, somebody asked you, what was your first impression of me? And and Chandler said, he looked and he said, what's this kid's problem? That was my first impression. He's like, he's always going around mad at the world and everything.
My thing is like, I see you in school because I didn't really know. I knew you.
Mm-hmm.
Because your mom dated Robbie. And he lived down the road from me.
Yep.
So, and a lot of times I would walk by y'all's house and I knew you'd be mad. I'd see you outside.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh, God, like this kid's a little crazy. But no, then I got to, and then at school, though, you wouldn't really talk much.
Yeah.
Like in high school, you didn't talk much your freshman year.
No.
And I remember I tried to get you to come out and wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, dude, you need to come out and wrestle. You need to come out and wrestle. And I remember, like, it really wasn't your forte. It wasn't something you really wanted to do. But I think you was so focused on professional wrestling.
Yeah, pretty much.
The amateur wrestling just wasn't like I think you wanted to go ahead and start on which a lot of times what it is you catch those wrestlers who wrestle in high school and college, and then they come out and then they got to find something to do. So they try professional wrestling. But I think for you, it's like you wanted to go ahead and start that path because the style that you have isn't an amateur wrestling background.
Right.
It's like a real intense, high flying type thing.
Right.
So so now looking back, you probably didn't need to wrestle because you have like the Finn Balor kind of style, And by the way, I think you look like him. It's scary.
Everybody tells me. My girlfriend Hannah. I think that's the reason mainly why she's with me. I'm kidding, honey. I love you. Please don't hurt me.
Right. But no, I think that I think you really have like that high flying style. You don't have like a Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, Shelton Benjamin like that style.
Mm-hmm.
And I think back then I was like, dude, it's only gonna help you. But now I realize, like, I understand now. Like, I get it. And, God.
It's just, it's one of those things. It was just, back then, my mindset, that's all I want to do still is. I just want to wrestle. I mean, that was all I wanted to do.
So does your job ever get in the way?
No, not really. Thankfully, I got a schedule to where I can pretty much, it helps me with my weekends. So I'm just like, hey,
What kind of job you got?
I work over in Johnson City, Tennessee. I work at LPI, Leisure Products Incorporated. We pretty much send out hot tubs all over the world in the United States, UK, Canada. I work over in shipping. So.
Okay, so do you get a free hot tub?
I wish.
We need to talk. We need to talk to them about some sponsorships.
Yeah, absolutely.
We need to get my boy Josh a hot tub. If you're out there and you're hearing this, we need to get Josh some.
I'll love you forever.
Hot tub and some supplements.
If I ever make it to WWE, I'll give you free WrestleMania tickets. I promise.
Now, I better get one. No, I'm actually going next year.
Really?
Tampa Bay, I'm going.
Tampa Bay?
I've decided I'm definitely going.
Okay.
Like, I was supposed to go last year. I had the money, had it all planned out, and then I just blew it. Like,
yeah, I think you talked about it on the podcast with Cross, I believe, wasn't it?
I blew it.
Yeah.
I just, some bills, some stuff came up. I wasn't adulting right, and I didn't get to go.
Yeah, I mean, that's what, it being an adult.
Yeah.
It sucks.
I tell kids all the time, like, y'all think I'm joking, like, y'all better stay young forever. For all you kids out there that hate school, I am positive Josh Strong will tell you, adulting is so much harder than school.
It is. I mean, it's just, I tell my brother all the time, Jordan, I tell him, he's just like, I cannot wait to get out here and get me a real job. I'm just like, no, you don't. Because I was in, even people that hung out with me in school, that's how I was. I wanted to get out.
Me and Jordan had a grown-up talk the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had to talk to him because I was substituting in the gym, and he threw a basketball across the gym.
Mm.
And it came a hair of smacking this girl.
Really?
Like in the head. Yeah. And I told him, I said, dude, what are you doing? And he's like, well, I didn't think, I'm sorry, I was trying to, I was just trying to goof off. And I was like, dude, you can't do that. Like, luckily it didn't hit her.
Okay.
So it's like, and he didn't mean nothing by it.
Right.
So, but he was like, man, I was just trying to, hit Evan with it. And I said, like in real life, like in grown-up life, You do that, you go to jail. You can't throw a ball and hit someone with it. Like, if I would have hit, smacked her in the face, you would have went to jail. And that is the grown-up talk we had. And I don't think he realized, because I stay on your brother's case too. Because he's a good little athlete. He needs to wrestle.
He's one person I would love to see wrestle and start training to be a wrestler. That would be
well,
awesome.
he needs to wrestle for me too. Like, he's the type of kid. He's short and stocky and super duper athletic.
I've wrestled around, just play horse playing with him. He's rough. He's strong for his size.
He's strong. He works hard too. But
yes.
And I think that's one sport. Like, I think that'd be good for him.
Absolutely.
For him, he has that style. He has that hard nose. He's athletic anyways. He plays football. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes sense. So I think that would be a really good. That'd be a really good thing for him to do. Then he can graduate and join our tag team, our Riverview tag team. What would our name be?
Oh, gosh. Well, hang on. We need to do some thinking on this. Hang on.
The Riverview Warriors.
Riverview Warriors.
No, I can't do that because Central Warriors.
Coburn Strong Knights. Coburn Spartans.
What would we be? We would be, it had to be something Riverview. Because we from Riverview. We're from Riverview, and if y'all don't know where Riverview's at, you're missing out.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're really missing out.
We don't mean that with sarcasm either, you know what I'm saying?
I'm actually starting a new YouTube series today, too.
Really?
Called The Bontown Brawler. I can't release who is the Bontown Brawler yet, but he's hilarious. It's going to be funny.
I'll get him tell me after this goes off.
I'll drop it to Josh after this, but the Bontown Brawler is going to be good. It's going to be a good new series. It's going to be funny. We're going to make a bunch of videos, and everybody's going to have fun. Everybody's going to love watching it. So
awesome.
But, man, so while we were walking in here, you kind of told me something about now what the Rated R. Now, you wrestle for Rated R, which is in Lebanon. Is that Lebanon, Virginia?
Yeah, Lebanon, Virginia, yes.
Okay, is there a school over there or anything?
No. He's pretty much on Brett is the promoter. He's got a working agreement pretty much with All Star Wrestling. In other words, Cross and Stan Lee, those guys, pretty much. So that's pretty much where.
Okay, so the Rated R is kind of like with that group of guys.
Pretty much, yeah.
Now, do y'all feel like y'all compete with other promotions around here, or do y'all all try to wrestle each other?
We pretty much, yes. I mean, it's just basically
you can't really in a small area. It's hard to compete.
Exactly. So
you don't really want to not compete against each other and have good matches and
right.
hold each other back from making it to the big show.
Right.
So have you ever, I know you're 100% loyal, but have you ever thought about possibly moving down to Florida and doing the whole developmental thing?
I have, honestly. I mean, it's just like I said, I'm trying to get out to wherever I can and whoever wants me to work their show. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know that you can put in an application for NXT.
Oh, really? I didn't know. Now this, I didn't know, honestly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, someone told me about this. Like, I'm pretty sure I was talking to Ricky about it. They do applications. You fill out the application. And you go down there, and like you got to pay like a set price. You get to live down there, like their dorms or something.
Oh wow!
And you get to wrestle, and you do that every day, and they kind of work with you. And then what they do is they start filtering you into NXT. And you might be a jobber at first,
right?
But then eventually you'll get your character. The more you work, the more you really, and people get cut all the time. But if you make it, though,
yeah, exactly.
it. You're talking about. Those NXT guys, you don't think this is a lot, but they may make $50,000 a year.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
which is a lot.
Yeah,
it's still a good living, just to wrestle.
Yeah,
could you imagine getting how much you get paid a year now? You think?
Gosh, Almighty, I couldn't tell you. I could. God, I'm terrible at math. Just right now, I mean, I want to say probably the mostly if you get paid around here, most promotions will pay at least $20 the most.
$20?
$20 the most, yes. So, I mean, just, that's mainly what it is. So, I mean, it's just, gosh. Again, I'm terrible at math. Somebody help me.
And what about your real job? Did your real job clear $50,000?
I want to say so. I want to say so, I mean.
Okay. So that'd be awesome to get, to make that just for wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Not doing anything else.
Yeah.
Training, lifting, wrestling, cardio.
Yeah. So
Like,
I mean,
that'd be unreal.
I got a very, very busy, very, very busy schedule. Especially like if I'm not wrestling, I spend most of the time in the gym. You know what I mean?
Just working out.
Yeah, just.
Now are you, like, if you was to go to the WWE, would you want to try, how tall are you right now?
5'4.5".
5'4", so you'd be a cruiserweight.
Mm-hmm.
Or would you want to try to get bigger, or?
Oh yeah, like if Vince McMahon called me right now, or Triple H, or whoever, and said, "Hey, we want you at WWE Monday Night Raw next week or whatever." Oh, I'd live in the gym. I'd sleep in the gym.
You know what I'm saying? Like, cause, even cruiserweights, like, I couldn't tell. I know Buddy Murphy's big.
Yeah,
and so is the other one, the one that he's wrestling.
I seen, but I can't think of his name. But
they're both big. They wrestled this past weekend. Mm-hmm. They're big.
Okay,
they're huge. So, like, my thing is, like, but they're big for cruiserweights.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're Rich Swann, who's a former, champion. I wonder how much he weighed.
Gosh, I want to say at least maybe. This is a guess. Maybe if I'm wrong, forgive me. But I want to say maybe close to 200, maybe 190.
I think they added weight to his scale.
Probably.
Yeah, they had to. Because, like, those guys would probably weigh like 205.
Mm-hmm.
205, 200.
Mm-hmm.
They're not big at all.
No.
They just look like freak athletes. They look like freak athletes. So hopefully, man, that's where your career goes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's the plan. So has anyone else contacted you? Any big names, like older old wrestlers, or other than Ricky and Cross?
Not really. Not really. I'm just, like I said, again, I'm just trying to get out there as much as I can. Like, there are times where I don't get anything back, and then there are times where, we just got a full card right now, so we'll get back to you whenever we can. So, I mean, it is what it is. So, I mean, You know what I'm saying?
So, before we end this, what is the best match you've ever wrestled?
Oh, my gosh. There's been so many. I'll tell you the people, like, my greatest rivalries with my greatest matches with my greatest rivalries. Number one, I think this guy who's definitely helped put me on the map to get to more places like I've been going is James Anthony. James Anthony, he was the one I beat for my first ever Cruiserweight Championship.
That's awesome.
So James has been wrestling for, gosh, I want to say, he killed me for, I want to say close to 10 years at least. Close to 10 years. Me and James, we put on, we have great matches. We actually wrestled last weekend, actually. Another one, Joe Briggs. Joe Briggs, Dr. Destruction.
I think I told you before we got in here, we actually we grappled in a grappling match one time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That was after I got out of college, and I was in pretty stinking good shape. I mean, it was unreal what kind of shape I was.
Yeah, I think you showed me a picture several years ago, you and him.
It's pretty nice. Dr. Destruction. I remember I was at a show once, and he walks up. He's walking around the ring, and he sees me, and he's just like, gives me like a little wave. So I thought that was cool. I thought that was real neat because, like, we done that we wrestled against each other. We've talked about just local wrestling back in his day, back in my day. Like, so it's cool to see him do his stuff. It was cool to watch him perform.
Wow.
I need to come watch you perform.
Yeah, absolutely.
I need to, dude. I'd really love to. This weekend I'll be in Alabama. I'm trying to think. What's the shows you have booked so far, like in the next couple weeks?
So far, actually, this is where I'm going to, again, if promotions are listening, help me. Because, believe it or not, I only have one booking in April, believe it or not. And then I don't have another booking after April 6th until May 4th. So I'm going to be very, very bored after that.
Listen, promotions, if you hear my boy, contact him. He's a great worker. And he's looking for matches, so if they hear you, get them on there, man. And here's how I look at it. Every time the one passes you up, they're just missing out because they want you to come back and do like a meet and greet one day.
Oh, yeah.
That's when you'll be like, I remember those times you didn't call me back, homie. So
now you want me to sign my T-shirt and figure for you?
So I see, what was he, the Mid-Atlantic?
AIWF Mid-Atlantic.
Okay, you was that Cruiserweight champ. You wrestled for Rated R. You wrestled for Cross. You wrestled for Evolution.
Yep.
Like, what in your mind would be like the next step up? Like, what promotion would be like a higher step? Like,
There's a lot of promotions out here right now, man. Just, gosh. It's just, again, I just want to get out. I just want to get to as many places as I can. I just want to just get my name out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to, so that way everybody knows who I am. Everybody, oh my gosh, this kid. Because, my goal, I don't mean this out of arrogance when I say this, but I've said from the moment I started training, I just said whether I was first, mid, main, I want to be the match that everybody says, and when they go home, they said that match with Josh Strong and so, that was freaking phenomenal. That was great. I just want to steal the show. I just, like I said, I don't care where you place me on the card. I just want to steal the show each and every single chance I get. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I know like the goal is WWE, but would you ever consider like New Japan or TNA or anything? Or I guess it's Impact now.
Impact, Impact. It's Impact now. The other TNA name is erased. You know what I'm saying?
Just Impact.
But basically, you'll go wherever the money is. You know what I'm saying? If so, whoever has the money.
It's a stepping stone.
Yeah, so it's just, you'll go wherever whoever contacts you wants you to work for them. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Either of those promotions, really,
Okay, so we're getting toward the end of our podcast.
Okay.
So before we end, is there anyone that you want to thank, any shout outs you want to give, any like your social media stuff? Just tell the world like this is your time to throw out these shout outs.
Okay. I'll say this, I gotta thank Brett is the one who got me into Cross's gym, so I gotta give both Brett and Cross for giving me the opportunity to prove myself and show them that I'm willing to learn, I'm willing to work hard, play hard, etc., etc. I gotta thank those guys. I gotta thank my friends, my family, my girlfriend, my brother, my everybody. Because they're basically the main ones who believed at me from the get-go. You know what I'm saying? Because I had that, I guess what they call the eye of the tiger. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, and I also got to thank, God. I got to thank God for blessing me, for giving me this unbelievable talent that I have. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And most of all, my fans, because they're the ones who keep on, who are pretty much... I'm speechless. I just gotta thank my fans. My fans are ones who are basically believing in me also, who want me to move up and step up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
And where can people follow you at? Like at Instagram or Twitter? Do you have a Twitter?
I do have Twitter and Instagram. But let's see. Both of them I think are Josh Strong 100_1, and the 100_1 means pretty much give it all my 100%, and that number one is, in my mind, I'm number one. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing Cross always taught me. He said, how you see yourself is how others are going to see you. If you see yourself as number one, they're going to see you as number one. If you, and that's one thing that's really stuck with me. How you see yourself is how others will see you. That's one thing he taught me.
That's a great mindset to have. A lot of people, my cousin was talking to me and he was like, the confidence you carry is unreal.
And it's the hardest, and confidence, honestly, one thing I've learned in wrestling, confidence is the hardest thing to gain in this wrestling business, because some of the guys I work with, they're just like, I know I'll never make it to Impact or WWE, or I'll never go far. And then I just look at them, I said, then why are you here? Why are you here? Why are you here then? If you think that, then you're wasting your time doing this. You're wasting time, you're wasting money, you're wasting all of this.
Right, you're just doing it as a hobby.
Yeah, that's all you're doing it is for. If I never make it that big, then I can live with that. I just want to be able to say I was able to do what I love to do in the ring. That's all I want to say. You know what I'm saying?
Try.
Yeah, at least try. Give it your all. Give it your all, because I had real quick before we close this segment, I had somebody, it was my senior year, we had somebody from, what was it? It was Mountain Empire, I think Mountain Empire Community College, who was talking to people about what they wanted to be, and then when he'd tell them, he'd pretty much criticize them for it. I told him I wanted to be a professional wrestler, and he just looked at me and laughed, and he said, you're too small. I'm just like, excuse me? And he said, you're too small. People like you, all they're good for is getting laughed at and made fun of. And I didn't say nothing, but in my mindset, I'm just like, number one, you don't watch wrestling, do you? Because that's mainly who's, the cruiserweights, I think, in my opinion, are doing good.
The most athletic.
Yeah. And number two, That's all I needed. That's all the encouragement I need to fuel the fire that's burning inside of me right now.
No, I
You
feel
know what
you.
I'm saying?
I feel you. But yeah, as far as respect, man, like I said, I can remember we had a guy in the gym one time that, you know, he was screaming or whatever. You always are in character. You're just that high intense guy. I remember he was telling me, he's like, "Hey, shut up." I remember you came downstairs, he was a little upset, and I told him, I was like, "Yo, don't tell him shut up.
I remember that.
Don't tell him shut up." I'm like, he can do what he wants. Like, I remember I took over that time, and I was like, "Oh, I felt good about that." But that's why I respect you, man. That's why I had you on the podcast, and I appreciate you being on here, and I appreciate everybody for listening. He got to use the brand new mics. You're the first one to use the mics.
This is awesome, though.
It's a pretty good setup, man. I can't wait to do more episodes, and I'm super proud of you. I know everybody else is.
Thank you.
And this is episode 4 of the 395 podcast. Hopefully, you know, I can do this on a regular basis, get more episodes out there, get more people on, and yeah. Until next time, guys.